Hi.
Hello, this is a site that we call Salto 30. So this stream right here is the outlet of the Salto watershed that goes up in the mountain here in the Selva Biological Station. And one of the things that we've been interested in is trying to understand where the nitrogen in the stream comes from. This is a stream draining a pristine rainforest, and it has really high nitrogen, specifically really high nitrate. And we've always been wondering where all that rich nitrogen comes from. One of the things about this watershed is that it has a very high abundance of nitrogen fixing trees. The most abundant species here is Pentaclethra macroloba, which is a nitrogen fixing species, and it's the dominant, by far the most dominant tree here. It takes up about 30 to 40% of the basal area of all the trees in this watershed. And we've been studying the long-term growth of these trees along with the long-term nitrogen concentrations in the stream. And what we found is that during years where the nitrogen fixing trees grow more, there are higher nitrate concentrations in the stream. And this happens primarily for the trees that are located in slopes near our stream sites. If we look at the growth of nitrogen fixing trees in flat areas that are farther away from the stream, we don't see that same pattern. Similarly, if we look at the growth of non-nitrogen fixing trees, meaning trees that don't fix nitrogen in their roots, we do not see any relationship between the growth of the trees and the nitrogen in the streams. And using some basic assumptions and calculations, we figured out that about 7% to 30% of the nitrogen in the stream is coming from the fixing of the nitrogen fixation by those trees. And so we still have a lot to figure out, trying to understand how are the trees fixing the nitrogen, when do they fix it, and how does that nitrogen actually make it into the stream.